Hey guys, how's it going? It's Superior. Today I have a special video for you guys as I'm going to be giving you guys an in-depth analysis on one of my games to give you guys some insight on how I play my games as the current rank 1 on the North American ladder and to show you guys what goes on inside my head when I'm playing. Now, I know that Slows is closing down, so this video might not be that helpful with the upcoming release, but if you guys do like this type of content, please let me know in the comments. As if enough of you guys want another video like this, I will do one on our circuit team. So me, Anot, and Frankie, Team No Flame. We did just win the recent NA circuit finals, and yeah, I'll basically just be a similar type of video. I'll just give you guys a rundown on like what we're thinking when we play together. But yeah, hopefully you guys learned something from this video, and I'll be showing you guys a game that I played last week. So first things first, when you spawn in, you want to look at your map and route your path to the closest distribution that's not going to be looted to the next zone that you're going to be in. So for me, since my next zone is in the hospital, I want the distributions that are closest to the TP, since I would need to TP out of the zone. Since I already have a decent cluster, I loot the one I spawn in and then I TP out. So here you're just going to see me TP over to hospital. Quick tip, always make sure you're crafting after your movement ability is on cooldown, as it's more efficient to craft while your ability is on its downtime. So when you're gonna see me routing, you're always gonna see I'm always crafting after I use my E. For this build specifically, when I TP the factory, I'm looking for an extra lighter. If I can get an extra lighter, I can get some more food or some more SP, which would help me contest tree better if anyone does show up. As you can see, I didn't get an extra lighter, so I just drank my water to make space for my inventory. So when I TP over to the pawn, I'm just looking to finish my build, and I'm also looking for a hammer and a short rod so I can prep for my evening star, which is my meteorite transition that you will see later on into the game that I will probably get. So in this position, I have 3 purples. I think I'm strong enough to kill this boar, so I do end up going for it. Ideally, you do not want to like attack boars early on into the game because they are really tanky and they're pretty hard to kill. But I do end up needing to pick up the rocks for my weapon, so there is some downtime, and it lets me get my second Q off, so it doesn't really hinder my routing. Oh, now I walk into a Cathy. I think this Cathy was full build if I remember correctly, so I kind of have to respect the Cathy. I think I hear them killing the boar here, so instead of going up in my usual temple route, I actually go down and I TP over, because if I do run into the Cathy like while I'm trying to build, like they could easily just kill me. So I'm gonna make sure you play it safe, so I'm just gonna TP in instead, because he is obviously 2 purple items above me, so he could probably just kill me if he does get on top of me. So we get the far side in temple. That's pretty good because the Cathy is all the way on the other side. In this situation, I know that the Cathy is probably going to be contesting for my temple tree, so I do call in my rusty sword. Usually I hold off on calling it in just to see if anyone does contest me to save 15 credits. But since I know that he's probably going to be contesting, I do just call it in and I make sure I get full build so I'm ready to fight for the temple tree. So we walk over the tree to get a favorable position. I do end up checking this bush. He does have a ward in here, so I know he has vision. We do hit a Q. If we knock up, we are E'd as well to get some cooldowns back. We Q'd, our E goes a little wide. So it was like an equal trade. We don't have our chest piece finished, so we do try crafting it. We will rest up here to try to reset the fight. We know they're probably going to go back and grab the tree, so we finish building our high priest robe quickly. So now we're as strong as we could be. We're going to walk back. They do have vision still, so we do know that they know that we're coming. We hit QE, another RE, so we get more CDs on our E again. He comes back up. We chase here. They use their Q to dodge our Q. They use their D skill. But since we know they don't have ult anymore, they can't really get away, and they won't have enough damage to turn the fight. So Cathy without R is very vulnerable. And yeah, that kind of sealed the deal for the Cathy. We do end up hitting the Q and E at the very end, which got our kill. So now that we got an early tree, we could transition into Eye of Horus, which puts us into a 1 transition lead over the rest of the lobby. And we also got a lot of mastery killing that Kathy. So we are in a really, really good spot now. Here we craft our Horus. And now I'm probably going to be looking to head to a battle zone. So ideally, you probably want to play in defense or attack zone for a skill shot type character. So since I play Sua, I do not want to go into a speed zone because everyone's going to be moving, you know, at like Mach 10. They're going to be dodging all my skill shots. So I do end up coming down to hospital and I'm going to pick either attack or defense. I think attack is usually better just because defense zones usually take a lot longer since obviously you do get a shield. And you do not want to be staying in battle zones for too long because the longer you stay in battle zones, you know, the worse it is, right? Because, you know, the rest of the lobby is going to be farming, so you're going to be farther and farther behind. But I think what I usually do when I'm picking between attack or battle zone is I pick to the one that I haven't been to yet, so I get the first time XP bonus for entering the zone. So the zone's about to start. We're going to grab the farm quickly. It is a mutant dog, which is pretty nice. Gives a lot of credits and a decent amount of farm. And we do see a Jackie in the zone, and he just straight up jumps at me here. Does parry the Q and E and the D skill, which is pretty nice. He does end up getting hit by everything else though, so he will just kind of explode there. I think we end up picking Mithril from this zone. I think it might be Meteor because this replay is quite old. Usually I would pick up Mithril for the new Mithril shoes, like the new Mithril anti-heal amp shoes. But I don't think they're out at this time, so we do end up going for our Evening Star instead. We do have our green Warhammer from earlier, so it's a nice transition upgrade without me having to call it anything, so we could save our credits. And yeah, now I'm going to be looking for some farm, or I'm going to be looking to contest the next objective, which is up in 1 minute and 45 seconds. I think I do end up seeing Alpha is still up at this time, so I actually do TP over to see, you know, maybe if someone's, you know, still fighting there, maybe we could kind of third party, or we could take Alpha ourselves. I think as soon as we get there, I think that Daniel does end up taking it. So we just grab the vision here, we look for the farm, we do grab the dog. But at this time, usually bears aren't up, but bears usually respawn on the day 2 night cycle if they're killed on spawn. So usually you have to decide between either, you know, contesting bears or you go for, you know, your next objective. And for me, since I have a really objective snowball oriented playstyle, I set my sights on forestry because I do want to get glacial shoes next for my upgrade. Now we just walk over. We're gonna try going a little early so we can get that console vision to see if anyone else is gonna come and try to contest us off of this objective. We do obviously want to grab all the farm we can though, so we can be as strong as possible. Bats are really, really important to kill because you do get, you know, those cameras. We place a camera right behind us to have the vision if anyone comes from up down zone. And we're gonna hit the console here. Oh, we don't see anyone that's nearby. I'm gonna check the walls. No walls. And we do end up picking a bamboo and a snare. So in this zone, you could also prepare. You could also prep trap materials. Guillotines are really, really powerful for the final zone, especially on a character like Sua, because you know, since my character is skill shot based and I can combo off of you know, hitting like a Q stun. Having like a guaranteed route is really, really powerful, like in the late game. So we do end up getting the tree, so we're probably going to look for a glacial shoe upgrade. I'm just gonna grab the farm here, the vision down, over probably to Avenue so we could get repaired slippers. And I think I'm probably just gonna call in my ice here, since we do have a lot of extra credits to spare. Get our repaired slippers online. Gonna grab the boar here. since I do have bamboo traps in my inventory, like I look just for any axes if I can hit any guillotines. And now, since it's 1 minute before the next objective, the location of Omega is revealed, so I am going to go over it to contest since I did win the battle zone. If I didn't win a battle zone, usually I would contest for the second battle zone, but since we already won, we're going to go contest Omega. We're going to be pretty strong. We're going to have 3 transitions for Omega contest, which is really, really good. Omega is probably one of the strongest objectives in the game, since not only do you get a 4 score, you also get one of the 3 consumables. So it's just extra stats, which is really, really strong. So we place a ward down in this bush. We break the one that's already in here. We call on our ice, so we could have our 3rd transition before the objective. But we do see Ekion TP in, and we do let him walk into the bush, so we could actually bush cheese him. He does get hit by a Q-stun and an E. E-skill and RE does go wide, so we do end up just crafting our glacial shoes. So now we're 3 transitions for this Omega objective, which is really, really good. We do know that the Ekion is probably going to hover, so we do want to try to take a fight. Stalling objectives is probably one of the worst things you could do, just because, you know, you and your opponent both don't gain anything from it. So you'll see in this fight, I end up placing a lot of wards in this bush, because I do not want him to have vision over me. And a quick tip for my sewer players as well is, if you guys didn't know, wards are a great way to bait your opponent into kind of standing still, because most opponents obviously don't want you to have vision, so they'll end up breaking the ward as soon as possible, which usually leads them to them being like animation locked, since auto attacking does require like an animation to break the ward, and that can be your opportunity to hit them with a Q. Maybe you could E into them, and it does end up happening here, but I don't end up getting the Q, so we do end up just, you know, having like a little mild trade here. Let's see if he has opportunity, but I do end up hitting him on the RQ here just barely. We do end up getting the key knock up into another Q stun, and that seals the deal. Does end up getting hit by the rest of my abilities, and now we get Omega for free, and we also got all of his, you know, RNG items, so we get a lot of credits. So we are very, very nicely set up to win this game now. So we got the 4 score. We're probably going to end up going a timepiece. Timepiece is actually like a pretty big upgrade for Sua, since Sua does auto attack quite a bit. And we're going to be looking probably to farm for a blood as well, so maybe we could get a Queen of Hearts early, and then maybe we could get double blood items into this game too. So I'm just going to grab all the farm in chapel, since, you know, we know no one's here. Now we hit console. So we got vision over chapel here. We do end up seeing Galzor here. He is on purple weapon. I'm pretty sure he only had 1 or 2 transitions here, so we do double E into him. We spell shield, so his R, he can knock us back. We hit ED skill, but he does end up getting 4 marks on me, and he does end up stunning us and gets away. Now we do see someone ordering something from this console, so we do end up pressing tab. We look at their items, and they had 0 transitions, so we just kind of full sent it here. We E forward, we RE'd. They did end up hitting the bat, unfortunately, which kind of slowed them down. I don't think they meant to do that, but we do end up catching up to them, and our RE does hit, so it does reset our E cooldown, so it's up in 3 seconds. We get a quick auto attack in, we auto them again, throw Q down, auto the bat here, so we get some more resets on our cooldown, and we eat in. Kind of went a little wide, but it doesn't really matter as long as, you know, we're closer to the enemy. He does end up R'ing us, but we do spell shield it, and 1 Q goes wide, and the RQ does land, and he does just fall there. Very unfortunate timing for him to be ordering in the chapel battle zone after we killed Omega. Now we're gonna go over to Omega, or sorry, not Omega, Wickline, because it is gonna be, you know, the next big objective. It's definitely the biggest objective in the game, so if you are strong enough to contest Wick, I think you always go. Getting a blood item, another transition, and the Wick buff is really, really powerful. We do have an extra meteorite, since that's the objective that the Aya called in. And we're gonna place a ward at the top of Avenue, so we know if anyone's gonna come down. We don't have enough time to grab console, because Wickline is already up, so since we do have the 2 wards that are placed pretty far up in the console, we are just gonna try burning it here. and no one really came down to contest us. The Chiara does end up stealing it, but we do grab the items, and the items are definitely a lot more important than the wick buff. The wick buff is good, but it's not powerful enough to win you a game, and you can just run it out. So we do get both items. Another meteor. So we order a Tree of Life for a 4 score, so we go Persona, and we're going to use our blood for Queen of Hearts, and we are basically going to be best in slots. We are going to have an extra meteorite though, so can't really run the meteor water because we did get a meteor water from Omega already. So I'm probably going to look to make another transition just for craft mastery and then dismantle it for extra credits, so we could call in like a different objective. Like I'll probably call in like a tree for either Zen Vitality or a Mithril for Mythwater. Mythwater is really strong because 9 defense has a lot of value late game. So it's because of like your big HP pool. So we're gonna look for our bandage. We're gonna call in our monk robe here. Gonna make our Queen of Hearts. Gotta make sure I don't leave these bamboo traps behind, because this is my late game setup since I don't have much credits because I call in that tree. We need to keep as many trap components on us as possible, so we do craft our persona as well. So now we have basically best in slots for our items. So to close out this game, we're probably just gonna look to start trapping up here. TP over to Pawn. Pawn has so many trap items. You can make you can basically get 4 out of the 5 for double guillotines. You get bamboo traps, pendulum, bamboo traps, axes, and mouse traps. So we do end up finding an axe and 2 mouse traps here, so we're gonna make some axes. And we are actually also gonna craft the astronaut helmet for some anti-heal, because there are some matchups at the very end here where anti-heal would probably be a lot better than just having the persona. So we're gonna keep that on hold. We're gonna make some axes. We're gonna look for some more mouse traps so we could call in as many double guillotines as possible. I think something that a lot of players don't realize is the difference between blue and purple pendulum axes is really big. So if possible, always make sure you craft up the purple. Don't craft 4 blues. Even 2 purples is probably better than having 4 blues, because the purples, if they do proc, they root for like 1.5 seconds, while blues only root for like half a second. So it looks like we're just gonna walk down. Probably. So at this point into the game, I'm just looking to, you know, cap out on my weapon mastery. So we're gonna look for some farm, chase pings if we can, because we are probably the strongest in the lobby. You do have 6 golds and an extra, you know, meteor water as well. We do see some pings in factories, so we do end up walking down to see, you know, maybe if we could find any picks before the final zone. The less people final zone, the better, especially if you are really strong, so you don't get timer scammed. We end up kind of getting poked out here by this Bianca, so we don't want to. You definitely don't want to fight Bianca when you're, you know, down 30% HP, because you don't want to be in the threshold where they can one-shot you. So we just let them go. The Bianca matchup into Sua should be pretty free, unless there's like a big wall or like a lot of different obstacles in the way, but it shouldn't be too bad. Now we know final zone is in hospital, so ideally you always want to take the zone that's closest to the final zone, especially if you are the strongest in the lobby. So for us, we're going to take the bottom zone. It's also a lot better for us to take the bottom zone because it is more open. Hospital does have that little crevice, which a lot of range characters or any character with like a wall hop can just kind of abuse. So we definitely want to hold this bottom zone for as long as we can until it goes down to just two players. So it looks like we do have some extra credits left over, so we will be crafting some extra guillotines. Having those extra traps is great. It's a great deterrent to make sure other people don't contest your final zone. We will start placing some guillotines down, and we will also swap into the astronaut helmet, as I do look at the lobby, and I do think that anti-heal is more favorable in this matchup. We do try poking out the Barbara here, try to get the Barbara We actually don't really want to fight the Barbara. Barbara is somewhat tough matchup for us if they do play it right. So we do just want to let the Barbara just move up. Because they do know that I am going to be occupying the zone, and they probably won't be wanting to fight a 6 gold to us. So we do get our traps placed down a little early, but it's just to kind of deter people from contesting us, because we do want our free zone. Having the free zone is really strong, especially for the final fight at the very end. It's having extra timer allows you to reset more fights than your opponent at the very end of the game. So you do have about 8 guillotines to drop down. I usually try holding my guillotines until maybe 30 seconds or until a player shows up, because as soon as players hear the guillotine drop or traps, you know, being put on the floor, they usually don't want anything to do with it. So we're holding all our traps here. We do place one down because, you know, the 30-second mark did hit. Traps do expire in 1 minute, so keep that in mind. Frankie does come over, so we're just gonna, you know, slowly drop our traps down as he tries breaking them to try to deter him out of our zone. Try to drop our Q from the tip I mentioned earlier. Since he's auto-attacking, we have some opportunity to try to attack him while he's breaking our traps. You end up hitting some Qs here. No stuns, so a real opportunity, and he does end up walking away after we drop our last trap, which he probably thought I had a lot more, but it is nice, you know, that we do have this final zone to ourselves now. Now, usually if the zones are really far apart, I don't try to third party, but since I do have the full 55 seconds, and I know these players are pretty strong, I do end up looking for a third party here, just because I have so much extra timer, and I know there's like 5 people final zone, so everyone's gonna be on like low timer, trying to fight for like the last kill. So we do end up walking over here, and we do end up catching Frankie and Kittens in a fight. Kittens does end up killing Frankie here, but since he doesn't have ult anymore, we kind of just run him down. ERE. He's on 4 seconds. He does end up going into my zone, but he ends up actually hitting the guillotine that I placed earlier, and that seals the deal. And that's the game. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hopefully you guys learned something. If you guys don't know, I do also stream on Twitch at twitch.superior/superior1, but the O is a 0. I'll drop my link in the description. And yeah, if you guys do like this type of content, please again let me know in the comments. If you guys have any questions, let me know down there as well. Join in Discord if you guys want to get notified on when I post and when I stream as well. Yeah, I'll be posting more with this game's full release coming very soon. So, you know, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Okay, take care. Bye bye.